All right, everybody, we are here at SEMA 2025, and we are going to check out some of the tools that you should have or should put on your Christmas list for use at home, or I guess if you work in a shop, use them in a shop too. But these are some tools that I'd really like to have in my personal garage for working on cars, and I think you would too. Let's go check them out. All right, so these guys caught my eye with the slogan of "Don't tape anything to your fingers anymore." And these are actually a really neat tool. I hadn't seen these before at SEMA, and it is just what it looks like. It is a holder, like a little vise that holds a bolt so that you can like go inside of a frame rail or whatever, or behind something, and put your fastener on without having to like scream and retch and figure out a way to put all that together. A whole bunch of different sizes, like big, medium, small, and then there's like a mini, micro one. They also work on those like annoying hose clamps that you have for like your cooling system. And then they have a flexible one. So this one is like your grabber tool. You can bend it around and squeeze the handle, and then they also have one that has like memory to it. So it's if you kind of know where you're going, you can get that up in there and work that into the hole. You can imagine how difficult that would have been if you didn't have access or that tool. So these are all available on Amazon, and you can buy the kit, you can buy the mini, you can buy the bendy ones. Pretty neat solution to a problem that all of us have. All right, this isn't necessarily a tool, but it is a tool for you to use at home. And this is findpigtails.com, and it's automotive connectors. And you can buy one, you can buy a whole batch. You can even buy the tools to depin your connectors, or you can buy just the bare connectors. So if you have like an injector plug or something like that that's cracked, they have a website that you can use to search the pigtails and all the tools you need to service broken connectors in the engine bay, because we all know that that's definitely a problem with these older cars. All right, everybody, we are at the GearWrench booth, and we are going to talk about a few tools that they have that would be good for your home shop. One that I really liked was this new GearWrench. I don't see a SKU on it. Oh, there we go. It's a 15-piece ratcheting cap and die set. There we go. 8.2, and they also have it in standard. So it's a nice smaller kit. It doesn't have some of the bigger sizes in it, but it's got M3 through M7. Both in taps and dies, a ratcheting handle, and then your holder for either one of taps or dies. So that's a nice little kit, and they do come in metric or standard. If you want a little bigger kit, they also have this kit, which does, it's like a 27-piece kit and does a lot more stuff, a lot bigger spread than the sizes. For us older people that have really bad eyeballs, a nice set of these are just coming out. These are embossed. You can see the relief there, and then painted sockets that you can get that are a lot easier to see than anything I have at home. And they are available in also metric and standard, and quarter, half, 3/8, all that. So this is an 8-inch crescent wrench, and you're like, yeah, whatever, it's a crescent wrench. You can actually take the jaw of this completely out and then flip it around, and now you have like a pipe wrench. The other cool thing about this kit is that these, I gotta see if I can do this with one hand, which I could not. These are actually sockets, and they fit into the handle of the ratcheting wrench. So now you have a ratchet and a crescent wrench all in one. So if you're trying to carry less tools to the junkyard, this is a good one to grab. All right, a trip to SEMA would not be complete without a trip by the Harbor Freight booth and to see what they've got coming out. One of the new things that they have coming out is these super micro engagement ratchets. I don't know if you can hear, but this is one tooth of engagement right there. I'm turning it one tooth. So the new Icon ratchets have a really small level of engagement on the swing of the ratchet, and they've got a ton of different variants of these ratchets. They got 1/2 inch flex heads, 3/4 inch flex heads, long, short, medium, really short. I really like, actually this would be a nice ratchet to have. And then all the 1/4 inch stuff in all the different lengths. Icon stuff is pro level quality tools. Not everybody wants that, but if you're looking for an inexpensive ratchet, the Quins also have, they have a very high amount of teeth engagement on here, and the feeling isn't quite as precise, but for the price point, that's a $21 ratchet, low profile sealed head that has like a pretty short throw of engagement. There's one tooth right there. So if you're working on a tight spot, that's a good option, you know. Or if you just want an inexpensive like tool bag ratchet for the junkyard, 21 bucks. It's not a bad deal. Here's one other neat little thing I found in the booth is this Icon. It's a tiny ratcheting. It's like a whole bit driver set. So you've got all these little Allen heads, some screwdriver bits, some Torx, and then some security Torx, and an extension, and this tiny little ratchet that has like a flex head on it. So you can get into a lot of tight spots with something like this. It doesn't take up a lot of room in the toolbox. So that's a nice thing that you may want to add to your tool collection. Also, this is a pivoting work light. It's got a magnet on the end so you can stick it literally anywhere, and it's got several ways this thing works. So it's got a flashlight like out the end of it, so if you need to like get in between some stuff to get some light down in there, you can do that. And then it's got the wand, like the big wand, and then another light setting on the big wand, and then a smaller light on the back side of the wand with 2 bright settings, and then off. And it's USB rechargeable, so you don't have to keep scrambling for batteries for it. That's actually a pretty nice little kit. I like that. So we are at the Wiha booth, and there's a few things that I wanted to show you guys. A lot of people have these pliers on the market. A whole bunch of companies really have a plier like this, but this one's actually a really cool pliers. These are like 30 bucks. You can get them at like Home Depot and Fastenal, a whole bunch of places like that. But these are like an auto-adjusting pliers, and they will kind of fit themselves to whatever you need to get them around. So it's nice if you're going to grab like something out of your tool bag at the junkyard, or just grab something out of the toolbox to work on something real quick. And then got a little locking collar to keep them closed when you're not using them. Those are a really nice plier. I've had Wiha tools in the past, and I've really liked them. Their screwdrivers are on point. Another thing you can get is these impact sockets and an extension for a nut driver. These are like 30 bucks. If you don't have a set of impact sockets, this is a great one to pick up. This one goes from, so this is 14 all the way down to, I believe, 8. And this is like $30. So a nice little like impact kit for running on your impact driver or something like that. All right, and I was talking about the screwdrivers earlier. Check these bad Larrys out. they make a really nice screwdriver. It's not something that you might consider like as a inexpensive investment to get a set of these screwdrivers, but they like the feel. They've got a nice metal end on them, like so if you need to like wrap on the end of it a little bit, you can definitely like get a little more violent with these than you can with your like regular cheap screwdrivers. But having a set of these they have such a great feel. The wrench flats on all of the sizes, so with the exception of the little tiny ones, but even like the number 2 Phillips has wrench flats. So if you really need to like push down on something and use a wrench to help turn it, you've got that ability. Yeah, Wiha definitely makes top-notch product, and if you can get a couple of their tools, they definitely make an expensive product, but it's definitely high quality. All right, and another great tool that I found here is the Grip Edge tools. They have both tools that will extract like an Allen head that got stripped out, or you can get a rounded off bolt off really easily. So one of the things that struck me about this stuff is that these tools are actually designed to be like hammered on and used. So if you got like a stripped out bolt head and you want to hammer it on there, you can absolutely hammer this thing on there and get it to lock into position. And then once you've got your stripped out bolt off, it comes with this extractor tool that you thread in. You don't want to hammer on that part, it's pretty fragile in comparison. But then you just wind this down and it pushes the bolt out of the head. So you don't have to like do the old like smacking the socket on the ground for like 10 minutes to try to get your stripped out bolt out of the head. And these also work the same way. They just have a collar that threads down in this scenario here where you have a stripped out Allen head and you've got it out, but now your extractor is stuck. You just work this sleeve down with a wrench and it'll push it right off of there. So pretty neat setup from Grip Edge. It's kind of one of those things I wish I had in my toolbox, especially working on old garbage cars like we do. That's a really nice thing to have when you get into a pinch. And these and the bolt side are lifetime warranty on their products. And these are available on the website at gripedge.com. All right, so that's it from SEMA. I hope you guys found that these tools were interesting. Hopefully you'll pick up some of them. I'll try to put links in the description below for all the things that I've listed in this video, but I still have miles more of walking to do and lots more stuff to see and do here at SEMA. So until next time, get out there and work on something.